Scarlet, radiant in her white dress, was excited to release a pigeon as a symbol of love on her wedding day. As she held the bird, she noticed a small note tied to its leg. Thinking it was a harmless joke or maybe a sweet message, Scarlet quickly unfolded the note with a smile. Within seconds of letting the pigeon go, she opened the note. As the color drained from her face, Marcus feared she might faint. He grabbed her arm to support her and asked what was on the note and how she knew to open the container. Scarlet, furious, ripped her arm from Marcus's grip and, without a word, ran into the nearby forest. Isel tried to find some comfort with his parents and mother-in-law. They were telling him he had done nothing wrong, as far as they knew, and Marcus himself felt the same way. Seeing as the pigeon was long gone by now and Scarlet had taken the note with her, all that was left was the small metal tube in which the note came. While others continued to look for Scarlet, he focused his attention on finding out when and how the note made it onto the leg of the pigeon. Suddenly, it clicked for Marcus. There was only one person handling the pigeons at this time, and that person was his sister, Grace, who had insisted that she would take up this part of the wedding. Marcus couldn't find Grace anywhere, and the realization dawned that she had been absent even before Scarlet's sudden departure. A chilling suspicion began to take root in his mind. He ventured into the forest, the same path Scarlet had taken in her flight. Trees stood as silent witnesses to her panic, their leaves whispering secrets he couldn't decipher. The silence was a heavy cloak, smothering his hopes with each passing lonely mile. But as the sun set, he was no closer to finding Scarlet, and his fear grew that he might never see her again. With heavy hearts, the families agreed it was time to involve the police. Marcus, accompanied by both families, filed a missing persons report for Scarlet and Grace. The police began their methodical questioning, starting with the wedding guests. Each interview was an attempt to peel back the layers of the day's events to find a thread they could pull to unravel the mystery. The investigation was a slow, deliberate process, with each lead a potential key to unlocking the whereabouts of Scarlet and Grace. In the midst of the confusion and the growing pile of statements, the police uncovered a small but potentially significant clue. A nearby surveillance camera had caught a fleeting image of a figure that could be Scarlet, moving with purpose away from the venue. Though grainy and unclear, it was a lead, a glimmer of hope in the dark. Marcus felt a surge of mixed emotions, relief, anxiety, and an urgent need to follow this thread wherever it might lead. The discovery of Grace's car in a remote area sent ripples of confusion through the investigation. It sat silent and empty, a haunting reminder of her absence. With resolve in their hearts, Marcus and a search party set out to comb the area surrounding the abandoned car. The group moved in a coordinated effort, their movements purposeful and determined. The group moved in a coordinated effort, their movements a testament to their shared urgency. But as they covered more ground, the silence of the unanswered grew louder, echoing their fears. Exhaustion set in, but the searchers pressed on, driven by a dwindling hope that refused to be extinguished. Despite their exhaustive efforts and the keen senses of the search dogs, no significant clues emerged. Shadows lengthened, and the search became more desperate, a race against the encroaching darkness. Flashlights and lanterns pierced the night, small beacons of hope in the vast darkening wilderness. The search party, weary and disheartened, gathered to review their progress. But there was little to say. In the midst of despair, Marcus's phone buzzed with a cryptic message that pierced the darkness of uncertainty. It was brief, but its implications were profound. The sender remained unknown, but the message hinted at crucial information about Scarlet and Grace. Marcus read and reread the message, trying to decipher its meaning and find the truth hidden within its veiled words. He clung to this newfound possibility, allowing it to fuel his determination. The thought that this could lead to Scarlet and Grace was a beacon, guiding him back to the path of action and resolve. Their efforts led them to a small town a few hours away, an unfamiliar place that held the promise of answers. Marcus journeyed toward the small town, each mile unfolding with heavy apprehension. The road stretched ahead, a tangible symbol of his pursuit for truth. As he drove through the town, its tranquil facade seemed to mock his inner tumult. It was a place that promised answers, yet the quietude made him wonder what mysteries were silently woven into its very fabric. They arrived at the house linked to the message. The house's stillness was unsettling, as if it was holding its breath, waiting for the truths to be unearthed. Marcus's hand hovered over the door, hesitating at the precipice of revelations. When he entered, the scene inside the house made his world tilt as he found Scarlet, Grace, and a third unexpected figure. Their presence was a cacophony of emotions, echoing with the pain and confusion of the past days. The reunion was a complex tapestry of relief, betrayal, and unanswered questions, all hanging in the balance. The third person turned, and recognition dawned on Marcus with a jolt. It was a face from his past, someone whose life was intricately woven into the story unfolding before him. The surprise was a sharp sting, a reminder of forgotten chapters and hidden truths. Marcus felt overwhelmed, caught in the crossfire of revelations that seemed to come from every direction. The room was heavy with the emotional turmoil of the revelations. Words of betrayal echoed off the walls, each one a piercing reminder of the trust broken and the hearts wounded. The air was thick with regret and sorrow, the echoes of betrayal reverberating long after the words had been spoken. Accusations and regrets flew, painfully dissecting the betrayal that shattered their lives. Scarlett's once loving expression was now a portrait of betrayal and heartbreak. Their bond, built over years, was fractured beyond repair. The revelations sent shockwaves through the family, straining relationships and loyalties. The room filled with mixed reactions, some empathetic, others judgmental. With a steady but emotional voice, Scarlett declared the end of her relationship with Marcus. After Scarlett's departure, Marcus was left with the echoes of goodbye. He sat, reflecting on the love lost and the pain he had caused, memories of their time together, a bittersweet reminder of what was and what could have been. Each echo was a reminder of his actions, reverberating with regret and sorrow. In the quiet aftermath of their parting, the wounds were deep, the scars likely to last, but there was also a sense of moving forward, of learning and growing from the pain.